tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello everybody, you are watching and listening to AFTERBUZZ TV's Spotlight On. I'm Jason Ikeler. Before we get started, we want to make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel right down there. If you want to participate in the conversation today, we're using the hashtag Spotlight On because we have a very special guest. You know him from TV, movies, reality TV. Stephen Colletti is here.
Those are some impressive stats about AFTERBUZZ.
I know, now you're one of them.
Yes.
You're one of the stats.
I'm happy to be a part of it, but that is good. The AFTERBUZZ.
The AFTERBUZZ.
I feel like nothing ever good happens after
a buzz.
Your buzz.
It's like during the buzz. We should call it during buzz.
Buzzed.
We should have been drinking this whole time. What were we thinking?
Well, who says I'm not?
Yeah. Oh, is there vodka in your cup?
Yeah. It's like what they say. After nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
That's true.
Everything good happens.
But it's like what, 4 o'clock right now? We're good to go. Okay, let's talk about your new movie.
It's actually 4:20.
4:20. Oh. Another great time.
On Cinco de Mayo. Little factoid.
This is just like a great moment. Just let this sink in. So Summer Forever, you play Austin. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's great. This is it's a musical. I'm in a musical, which is a first for me, and very happy to report that I will not be singing in
at
it.
all.
Yeah, no singing. The singing for me stays between myself and my shower and my car.
Did you want to sing?
Those two places. I didn't.
Okay.
At first, honestly, when I first heard about it, I thought, oh God, no. Like my mind immediately went to me singing on camera, and I was like, oh no, this should not happen. But reading further, my character does not have to sing.
That's good.
And is attached to the music industry. So I play, he's like the head of a label, an A&R guy, and it's cool. It's different for me because I was kind of the older one of the group, and that was a bit shocking on that day on set.
Yeah.
When you suddenly realize, oh wait, those kids are just entering their 20s, and I'm staring 30 at the face, and I'm like, oh, all right, well, this is new, but a great experience working on the movie, and Roman White, the director, who's done a ton of music videos. He was awesome, and so it was a very, very good time on set. I'm excited to see what the whole production come together.
And they cast it through YouTube?
Yeah. Well, wait, casted me?
Not you, but the rest of the cast, right?
Well, some of the cast. Well, Megan Nicole, who's got a bunch of subscribers and whatnot. People, she's got an extremely large online presence. And that I think people that have some viral following, but a lot of the other actors have done other stuff on TV and done voice work, been dancers. So I mean, it's a talented group of people. Everyone bringing kind of something different to the table.
If you were trying to break into the industry now, do you think you would go that route? Try to put stuff up on YouTube or Vine or?
I think right now is a very interesting time in the industry to seeing how how the online presence is playing into everything, things that are more mainstream, because online has become so mainstream. And I'm almost, that's another thing where I'm doing this film, and the kids that are younger on set, they're talking about their presence online and getting their start, and that's just kind of before me, where like, again, it's all like suddenly I'm like, am I old? I don't know enough about this that I should probably get I concern myself a little bit more with what's happening online, because it's obviously something that can't be ignored now, and the presence is so vital, and that's and that's with this movie and hiring some of the Megan Nicole, who's got this online presence, and it's about from one of her singles that did very well. I'm very curious to see kind of how it all pays off. Because there's a buzz about it. There's interest, and a lot of that comes from some of this online talent, and I wonder how that's going to kind of translate to, say, a film. And it's all new to me, but definitely respect the industry for sure.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So your character's in the music industry, like you said.
Yep.
Did you study any sort of music business to prepare for your role, or you just kind of went for it?
I went for it for the most part, but I definitely did want to study up on like, what kind of the in and outs. And this was what was exciting to me when I first got the job was, I'm a big music fan. And so I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be cool. You'll do some research on how kind of the process works, what some of the people, some of the stories you hear about people getting discovered, and their relationship with the label. And because I feel like I'm on the side of hearing just the musicians' complaints about like, oh, the label, they own me for this long, and all this, and like it's kind of like, it seems like it's a little rough side of business for musicians, and it's already as hard as it is for them to make money enough these days with everyone streaming everything, that they're kind of bogged down by these labels and these suits, if you will. And so I was kind of excited to dive a little deeper into that and see like what are these people like? How are they preying on this talent? And I found it's beneficial to both parties, but depending on what you read, you get different sides of the story. So, but then I went in with it, kind of my character. He very much so he knows he has the opportunity to wave his wand and just boom, I'm gonna change your life forever. But I didn't want it to be. I didn't want him to be arrogant about it. He still kind of has that aura, but still he wants to seem friendly because he's trying to, of course, lure in the talent so he can own all of her music and life,
make lots of money.
Exactly.
So in the movie, the girls sign a YOLO pact.
Yes.
So we're gonna play a little game. You're gonna tell me YOLO or yo no. Okay. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. But let's go. Fast food.
YOLO.
YOLO. What are you into?
In-N-Out Burger.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I think that's like a California thing. You have to, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's when I'm if there was a day I've done working, or if I had like just recently shooting on Hit the Floor, there were some shirtless scenes. This is what we do in the industry. We lead up to a shirtless day. And as soon as that day was done, I drove straight to In-N-Out. And it was almost like Bryan Cranston's character in Breaking Bad when he shows up at a diner after some bloodbath, and he just wants his bacon and eggs and a coffee. I just sat there and was like, nobody talked to me. I went inside, and ordered my food and ate, 2 double doubles and animal style fries and all that. It's
You earned it.
Oh yes, exactly. Oh yeah, and I was so pleased afterwards.
And then like 2 hours later, you want to kill yourself.
It's true. For some reason, after In-N-Out, I'm like, oh, this is great. But then it sits in your stomach. You're like, how was I so hungry before?
I can't move.
The last thing I ever want is In-N-Out Burger. But
this is brought to you by In-N-Out, by the way. This whole podcast. Stalking an ex on social media.
Yo no.
You're not one of those?
No, you know what? I've thankfully with a past relationship, I cut the social media immediately.
Oh, okay.
And there's been, I will say, you could thank the Not So Random popular page on Instagram that now kind of integrated people that your friends are following to like me after being so good for so long. Suddenly an ex popped up on there.
Oh no!
Like, come on.
Really, I was doing so good.
Yeah, and then they might have clicked a few more times than I should have, but no, I'm pretty good about it actually.
It's probably a little harder for you because it'll pop up in headlines on Google too.
I don't know about that, but I mean, it's if one thing I can say advice for people is if you have to try your hardest to cut that out, because there's just no good that comes from that. Because you're trying to hopefully see them. What are you going to see? You want to see them
suffer.
Yeah, you want to see them hurting, right? And that's not what people put on Instagram. They put the highlights of their life. It's a highlight reel of
your Instagram should just be depressing shit from now on.
There's articles that talk about like people have depression because they're looking at everyone else's highlights, on Instagram, and it's maybe not as good as theirs, and it's so you gotta just cut that out. But
cut that out. Okay, PDA.
It's easier said than done.
That's true, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh wait.
Cutting them out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
PDA.
Wait, I was like,
what?
Huh? I would say no. I'm
Never?
actually I do. No, I will. I don't want to give both answers because I definitely am guilty of it.
Okay.
But I do actually try to respect if say it. Yeah, I'm with a girlfriend and there's one friend with us. I try to respect that they're there because you want to be the third wheel.
It's super uncomfortable.
And the other two are like having a little kissing. You're just like, well, this sucks.
Wah, wah.
Even though you're like two of my good friends, I'm like, all I'm hearing is just.
I'm just here all alone. It's fine.
It's like that. Nah, that's not fun. So I'll go yo no.
Okay, dating 2 girls at the same time.
Yo no.
You know.
Yeah, no.
That's probably a safe thing to say.
You think it's a good idea at first, but it never ends well.
I know we'll talk about that. We've seen that happen to you.
Yeah, karma is a bitch.
It's okay. Justin Bieber.
Yeah, no.
You know, Kardashians.
Yeah, no.
You know, and reality TV.
Yeah, no.
You know, okay. Well, let's rewind a little bit. Speaking of, well, actually, before you got into reality TV, when you were a kid, did you always know that you wanted to do stuff in the entertainment industry?
I did, and I didn't know I went from either wanting to be a sportscaster to wanting to be a VJ on MTV to acting.
Okay.
And I just knew in some capacity I wanted to work in entertainment. And I have bounced around, and I've settled into acting. But I don't think that's, where I don't think it'll always just be all the eggs in an acting basket.
Okay.
Hosting is still something that's that I could do, and it's fun for me. But yeah, I was always drawn to it. Definitely.
That's cool.
And I had my parents had 7 VHSs, and I watched those movies over and over and over again. Everything, it was like The Predator, Forrest Gump, Top Gun, Dirty Dancing. Thank you to my sister. And a couple other movies, and there was a little diversity in there, and I was just, to me it's like just being in a production, all the walks of life that come together to make something work. It's like that camaraderie I find so interesting. And the odd thing was, it was working on Laguna Beach, a reality show, that was the kind of brick that hit me in the head. That was like, hey, you enjoyed doing stuff like this, like working on a production, and I because I played just sports in high school and was like, I'm not going to do, after doing a little bit of theater in middle school, and that director trying to get me into doing it at the high school, I was like, man, that's like, they rehearse at night. I just want to run amok with my friends. I'll play sports because that's what the cool thing was to do. But actually Laguna was a step away from that, going kind of against the grain to do that show. And then but again, it was that's oddly what got me to to being like, no, dude, this is something that you're interested in if you pursue it.
One, it probably gets you comfortable on camera, regardless of what outlet you take from there.
Yeah, I think, what, it was like when we were shooting Laguna Beach, I'll never forget one of the first days where they started pairing us up with some people we didn't really, run around with too much.
Yeah.
And some kids it was like they're a different person. And I think that I just seeing that right away, I was like, you know what, make a conscious decision to just try to just be yourself and not play to the camera. And I think maybe that's like, having that shocking moment early on was kind of always set an ease at me of like just trying to be relaxed around the camera, and never really bothered me. But also Laguna wasn't a Big Brother, cameras in the corner of every room every day kind of a deal. Yeah, it was like we shot a couple days a week, and so it was very, it was exciting. It was like I was jumping on set.
When they approached you, did you have any idea it was going to be this like huge cultural phenomenon?
No, I know. I honestly, I wish I had a better grasp on knowing what it could be. Okay. Because they did a good job of selling it as this, this documentary about kids in high school these days. Not this soapy drama about the relationships of kids in high school these days and the love triangles that ensue. And so I was... honestly, I thought it was going to end up in a box. Maybe they'll show like a 2-hour documentary and then that was it. But I was like, there's no way that they're going to find us interesting. Yeah. Like, we are just as bored as the next kid in high school driving around their city looking for somewhere to cause trouble because there's nothing to do in our town. And I say that when we have, the magnificent Pacific Ocean. It wasn't like an ugly scenery. Yeah. So, credit to the editors and producers of that show, definitely.
Did you know when you were doing it that like, hey, I want to be an actor?
I actually...
Because you went to college after that, right?
Yeah, I went to college for that. The acting was... I felt like acting to me was this feat that almost was too much. Okay. And I had an interest on hosting. And so I definitely, once we started going with Laguna, I was pulling on the shirts of the producers like, hey, if you ever need me to like host anything... for the show, any promos or anything, like I would love to do that. That's something that I'm interested in. Oh, okay. But then in doing that, I found hosting I enjoyed, but I just kind of getting more and more curious about actually studying acting and seeing how I felt about that. So I tried it out, took some classes and caught the bug. And that's cool. And I've just been it's been this pursuit of constantly feeling like I'm just scratching the surface and climbing this uphill battle of, this kid that was a reality, television star, if you will, but, is, it actually cares about what he, does as an actor and not just, someone who's trying to look for the next reality show.
If you could go back and tell like high school Stephen, do this differently on the show, so this will happen, what would you say?
On Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
I think, it's funny because I haven't seen the show since we got the tapes the day before they aired.
Oh,
so,
I have all the seasons if you need to borrow.
I put it away, but there was the infamous Cabo episode where, when you've got a 17-year-old kid downing shots of tequila in Cabo in the midst of a breakup with a girlfriend, that's not going to end well. And we've all been through that. I feel like at one time or another, but when you're doing it in high school on camera, you might want to be a little more wise to your surroundings. But, it's all right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Kristen has been very outspoken about how the show is scripted, and she feels like she wasn't portrayed in a good light. What are your comments on that? Do you say it's scripted? Do you say it's real?
It's both.
Okay.
It was you have these stories that were based off of real life, but then they were guided and set in some moments you're having to that the producers had gotten wind of. You're having to relive those, and they're there to guide you along to get what they need to piece a show together. Excuse me. And they might, shoot us for 2 hours, and then in the last 10 minutes come up to us and be like, hey, can you say, this so that we can tie this together?
Yeah. And
then maybe, okay. And then you reply back with this. So it just kind of makes sense. So we have it. And then that's what they use. So they have, I can't imagine those poor editors, hours and hours and hours of footage. And then they just get that little piece at the end. But, I think I do feel that, that they kind of, they wanted to jump on specific points of people's personality and maybe enhance them more. Yeah. So in Kristen's case, there was they really wanted to make her out to be like the mean girl, to be, the evil one, if you will. And she wasn't so much that way. I think she, they just jumped on that because maybe it was easier for them to spotlight that on her. And then, I don't know how much of it was her also understanding that was her position on the show. And maybe needing to play to that. I don't know. You have to ask her, but it's there's a there was it was a there was mixing paint. It was like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they had somebody who was stirring that pot very, very well, that it came together. Once it was thrown on the wall.
So then from there you go and you book a huge TV show, which I feel like is super rare to not only just get like one episode, but you were in a bunch of One Tree Hill.
Yeah, well, I thought, actually I did a movie, my first, where I got my SAG card. I did this movie called Normal Adolescent Behavior, and I was walking around on set, and again, just fresh off a reality TV show, trying to get comfortable in the actor's skin, understanding that a lot of these people that are around me were probably looking at me like, what is that kid doing here? And and I was very insecure about that. But I understood it, But I wasn't, I couldn't have been more excited to try to change people's perspectives. And as I'm walking around on set, I see Hillary Burton, who was also a VJ on TRL, and she's this striking blonde sitting in a trailer. I didn't know who she was, but I was drawn to her and went up to her and said hello, and we started chatting, and she, of course, was a VJ, and she was doing One Tree Hill, and I was familiar with the show because I remember people watching it, and after catching a couple episodes, and I think the kids came on TRL when I was doing, Chad came on when I was hosting, and I watched the show and I was like, that'd be a great show. I'd love to be on that show. I think that's somewhere that I could do well on. And so I had an audition and it went well, but then they said this character wasn't right for me, and then they brought me back and had me audition again, and then it was tough. It was the network. I think they were very hesitant to have the reality kid on their show because I had to come back and read again, but this time stand up, and then come back and read again, but this time sit down and then stand up, and the same stuff over and over again. But thankfully, I think between Hillary Burton and Mark Schwann, the creator of the show, who was on my side, and you continued to bring me back. And I think he understood what I was about and how I was, on this journey, trying to establish myself as an actor, and they supported me. And yeah, that show was such an awesome experience for me to be able to go and work on that, and just kind of see what it was like to work on set and not just be someone who's taking acting classes or learning. It was a very friendly environment for me to see what it's like to hit a mark, hit your light, not block someone else's light, and still make something interesting.
Well, it probably makes you try a little bit harder too if you have something to prove. Like, I'm not just the reality kid, I can actually act.
Yeah, I mean, there's it goes both ways though, because you could, a bit of trying too hard. I think one thing that I did learn was like, that just kind of be professional, but also, stay in my lane of not like, I'd get very enthusiastic. I was always so excited to go to work, to go to set.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I know I'm gonna learn something new, and I know it's gonna be fun, and God damn it, I'm gonna make this so good. So that I'm asking a million questions left and right. But when you're on set and everyone's, so many bells and whistles going on, and they've been on the show for 4 years, so everyone's kind of been cruising now. Everyone knows each other very well and they're comfortable. And you got this kid that's asking all these different questions and wondering about, well, can we do this and this? Like, we don't do it that way. I'm like, oh yeah, I should shut up now. But yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah, no, it was a great.
You're doing good. You're doing really good.
I appreciate it.
So you have a new movie coming out too. You're working on The Suicide Note?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
I'm about to, I go next week actually to South Carolina. It's fun. This will be something different for me. I play basically the asshole boyfriend that is prime suspect in this thriller. And so, you meet him and you're immediately suspicious of this guy. And so I can't wait to go out there and play that because I haven't done that yet, and it's going to be fun. So,
is there one actor whose career you'd like to sort of emulate?
I go all over the map on that because there's comedians that I think what they do is so awesome. If someone were to say comedy or drama, I would choose comedy, but I think drama is more of a wheelhouse for me. So if you're keeping it, I respect. Again, I grew up watching Top Gun over and over again. So Tom Cruise was the biggest movie star to me. And if you go to that level, I think Tom Cruise is an amazing career. But I look at people, closer to my age. I'm a big fan of what Joseph Gordon-Levitt's done, and what he does off screen too, just with the community that he's grown and hit record. I think is awesome. But yeah, for me, I think that it's just it's like where I'm coming from and how I got my start in this business is a very weird place.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't look after what someone else did. Like, all right, when did their first movie, when their first film that made it into the theaters, or what kind of made it pop for them, at what age were they at? If you get caught up looking at that stuff, you can go crazy. So I learned pretty quickly. I was like, you know what, you're just on your own path here, and I want to emulate the career of myself.
Okay. Cool.
I don't want to say my name because then I'd be saying
I'm going to emulate the
career
Ever heard of him?
of Stephen Colletti.
The Stephen Colletti. Okay, I ask everybody this at the end of every interview. In your career, best and worst advice you've received?
Oh, let me think about that.
Pressure.
Yeah. I hope you can cut some of these seconds.
We can't, but it's okay. Just keep listening. He's thinking.
Wow. Best advice and worst advice. Man, I think my best advice would be and I said it earlier, was to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
And that was just come do your job and do it well. Don't try to do anybody else's job. Don't try to do you think that light should be good over there? Or should we move these set pieces over here? Just stay in your lane and be professional. I think bad advice. I've never really thought about that. When did I get bad advice?
Maybe that's good if you never did.
Yeah, I know, but I want to give you
take shots when you're 17.
Yeah. What? Man, bad advice. I don't know. What kind of bad advice have you gotten? Sorry to throw your question back at you.
No, that's good. That's good. I should have been prepared for this too.
When did you get bad advice?
I would say to have a backup plan.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty bad advice.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the backup plan.
Yeah. Fuck the backup plan.
I'm so glad we could say that on this show.
Yeah, we're on the internet. We can say anything we want.
Fuck the backup plan.
That can be your bad advice. You should get that tattooed on you.
Bad advice would be, oh my God, dude, I honestly don't think I have an answer for that. I guess I haven't experienced any really bad advice. It's like I'm thinking about my parents right now and the advice that they got me, where they've given me, and they're giving me advice on the business.
Oh, okay.
And they
don't know what they're doing.
They've never been in the business, but you don't want to throw your parents under the bus.
I know.
It's
Sorry,
like,
Mom.
Yeah, like, man, so I think thankfully I've been pretty good. I've gotten some good advice. I'm so sorry I don't have a better answer
okay.
for that.
That's good to have good advice, not bad advice.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? That's like the Matthew McConaughey speech he did at the Oscars.
Yeah.
I'm chasing the guy 10 years from now. When I get to him, I'm going to be chasing that guy 10 years in front of him. Hopefully, thankfully, honestly, I'm so blessed that I feel like one day I woke up and saw that I kind of hit what I wanted to do. When I was on Laguna and working for MTV, a lot of people asked me, where do you see yourself in 10 years, especially if you wanted to be an actor? And I was giving them this answer that I wasn't 100% sure on, because I didn't even know if I was going to be able to do it. But now I wanted to work in TV and wanted to work in film. And thankfully, all of a sudden I've woken up and I've been in this business 10 years. And I have a little resume that, like, I've done some projects and it's like, okay, because when I had that first film and then that one episode of One Tree Hill, like that was God's. Like my little resume was like, there was 2 things on it, and I was 19 years old and I'm like, man, that's so cool, but like, how do I get more projects on there? And now, I've gotten a few things on there, and I think it's about raising the game, and involving myself more, because I've just put myself at the mercy of auditioning and word of mouth on my work for the first 10 years, and now it's putting on the producing hat a bit, start creating more opportunities for myself, and I think the way things are going now, we see some stuff that'll be that are stuff that I was at from the beginning, on the genesis of a script, if you will, and so I think you see me producing more, working definitely in TV and film, and just trying to up the game a little bit.
I like that. And if people want more from you, where can they find all your stuff?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram. So I think that's my random tidbits. It's funny that I have like this fickle relationship with Twitter. It's like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't care enough to post that anymore. But then I'll post like 5 times
in a row
in one day. Yeah. So I go back and forth, but it's just my name, Stephen Colletti, on Twitter and Instagram, and I don't take it too seriously. I try to have fun with it. So
in Summer Forever, tentatively August?
Yes, I think, tentatively August, early August. Look for it. Yeah, it will be released on all sorts of digital platforms. So it's going to be exciting to see how it's received.
Awesome. We can't wait to see it. Thanks for coming in,
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. If you guys want more from AfterBuzz TV, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at AfterBuzz TV. For Stephen Colletti, I'm Jason Ikeler, and we will see you back in here next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.